It is engagement we need to have.
Those who suffer miscarriages are never taken into account.
Members of the National Assembly are also influence peddlers.
You are sitting on Nigerians' money.
From the barbing, I pay my rent. From the barbing, I send my children to school.
A consultative engagement.
No any tangible notification before they ban us.
It's one thing for people to be at your back and the heat of the moment, and another thing for them to still be with you when push comes to shove.
I will do everything to take Lagos out of the national grid.
This is it for upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Buki November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
Good morning. I am Mercy Boko. This is a news brief. After a long wait, the former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, emerged the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate for the 2023 elections. He won with a total vote of 371. His close rival, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, polled 237, while his counterpart in Akwa Ibom State, Udoma Emmanuel, got 38 votes from delegates.
We are making another history. A history which we believe will bring about fundamental changes in governance and also in our political processes.
It is a win to redirect Nigeria, to rebuild Nigeria. It is a win to rescue Nigeria. And it is a win to change the narrative of our country. And for we, the young people particularly, we believe in the man, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. We believe that this man is going to set Nigeria on course for greatness.
I'm very happy that he won this beautiful victory. It's a beautiful victory, and we are happy for it.
Suspended Benue Catholic priest Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia has clinched the governorship ticket of the All Progressive Congress APC in Benue State. Father Alia defeated 11 other aspirants at the end of the direct primary elections of the party held across the state. From the results collated at the APC Secretariat by the Election Committee, the priest polled a total of 526,807 votes to defeat his close rival, Matthias Buyan, who polled 130,806 votes. Lagos West Senator Solomon Olamilekan Adeola, popularly known as Yai, has won the APC ticket of Ogun West Senatorial District held at Orona Hall, the headquarters of the Yawo South local government area of the state. The primaries was conducted by the APC Senatorial Electoral Committee led by Dakpo Odukoya as Yai polled 294 votes to defeat his main rival and incumbent senator representing the zone, Tola Odebayi, who scored 0. Earlier, Adebiye, while speaking to newsmen, said he was the only aspirant vying for the APC ticket in the ongoing party's primary for the zone, describing his Lagos West counterpart as a visitor in the exercise.
I'm extremely delighted that finally we've had an opportunity. We're going to have an opportunity to now do our primaries. More importantly, I'm also excited for the people of Ogun West. My expectations is that they want the same of what has been going on, the transformation, the leadership, the developments that one has brought to bear in the last 3.5 years or so. For me, I really don't think I have, I don't even think I have an opposition at this point in time. I'm the only candidate from Ogun West.
I know my people, I know where the shoe pinches, I know how they feel, and I can assure you that going forward, come 2023, after the election will have come and be held, from then there on, representative par excellence, that's what they should look up to and look forward to.
Senator Teslim Folarin, senator representing Oyo Central Senatorial District, has won the governorship primary elections of the APC. Folarin defeated 5 other aspirants who contested the election held on Friday at the Liberty Stadium, Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Folarin polled 954 votes, while Bayo Adebula garnered 327 votes. Prince Adering Adesida, who was declared the winner of yesterday's APC flag bearer for Akure South and Akure North federal constituency, has faulted a call by one of his opponent and serving federal lawmaker, Honorable Mayoko Lawson, that the exercise should be cancelled for a fresh one. Adesida told newsmen that he had won the primary and has been congratulated by his 2 opponents at the venue before some thugs stormed the venue to temporarily disrupt the counting. Prince Adesida polled 68 votes to defeat his close rival, Mayokun Alade, who won 37 votes.
You know what happened? Immediately I heard the first gunshot. Tear gas all over the whole place. The whole all empty. I had to even run for safety because I'm still alive now, and I think that's the most important thing. Putting into consideration the rule of law, the election is now inconclusive, and we're hoping that one party leader has come up. We will have another date.
So it's sorted, counted, and then after, it was for them to now start writing when they now came in with it. Unfortunately, my agent and the agent of Honorable Father Iro had their ballot papers in their hands.
Leadership of the party decided that that place is not conducive for the process, for the exercise. So the party decided to move the venue to a neutral place. This party belongs to all of us. And I know they're my brothers. We are from the same government. And I don't have any problem in appealing to them that they join me in the development of the party.
No.
6 APC governorship aspirants have kicked against the emergence of former Senate Deputy Minority Leader Emmanuel Boucher as the winner of the governorship primaries in Taraba State. The chairman of the APC Electoral Committee, Lawrence Onochukwu, had declared Senator Boucher winner of the poll at the press conference held at Jalingo Airport. Senator Yusuf, who spoke on behalf of aspirant, urged the National Secretariat of the party to reverse the verdict. Meanwhile, Senator Boucher has extended an olive branch to fellow contenders of the governorship ticket. The Rivers State Police Command has confirmed that 31 people died during a stampede at the Port Harcourt Polo Club while rushing to get giveaways from King Assembly International Church free shopping program. The program aimed at helping the less privileged in society became very disastrous and uncontrollable, and all efforts made by the organizers to bring sanity prove abortive. Witnesses said thousands of people gathered at the event and as early as 2 a.m. trying to force their way into the premises.
They did not share anything. The sharing did not start. So people just, there are some people that have mentality that let me come first. So maybe I will be the one to enter first. What if I said, came here to find to my small daughter. When I come here, I saw some people with that. They took me to hospital. They are looking for my rabbi. I went there, I don't start everywhere, I don't see the girl.
It's been nice for us. This kind of thing that happened, I just look at it as a kind of a hunger that's in the country.
I'm looking for my daughter. One of your kids assembly invites us to come. Because last year we came, when the crowd, when we are many here, so I cannot able to carry three of them. So I raised one up, actually here. I raised one here. But this one, the place is very tiny. And I lose this one. The other one, they was pushing her because that one is 11 years old. They was pushing her. So I don't know where she is. I mentioned her name, Divine, I can't see.
A new ship has been added to the Nigerian Navy fleet. NNSS Qadr, which arrived from the UAE, would enhance capacity against maritime crimes and illegalities within the nation's maritime domain and Gulf of Guinea. So stated the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Zuberi Gambo, at the induction ceremony at the NNSS Beecroft in Lagos. The naval chief said the vessel would serve as a multiplier force to respond to humanitarian crises and convey relief materials in support of non-kinetic operations within the region and beyond.
And the last scope item is future projections. For effective deployment of the ship to perform our roles, some outstanding issues need to be given urgent considerations. These are discussed under the outstanding jobs, training, electronic charts, and armory racks. I shall start with the outstanding jobs. The ship was delivered to the Nigerian Navy with some outstanding jobs left undone due to limited time by the company to effect or complete those jobs. Some of these include the covering of the bridge deckhead and the installation of electronic chart display and information system repeater in the commanding officer's cabin, which has been paid for by the Nigerian Navy. In line with the agreement, that men assured that it will complete these jobs when the ship arrives Lagos. Now that the ship has arrived, it is vital that the company commence work immediately. Next is training. The sophistication of the Nigerian Navy ship Qadr entails that our capabilities and sustained use can only be harnessed through in-depth knowledge of the operation and maintenance of equipment on board. This is more so as the vessel is wholly automated with systems that are new to the Nigerian Navy. Although the crew got some familiarization training before and during the voyage, they are yet to be trained on the primary role of the ship, which is beaching, cargo loading, as well as stability. These are specific roles that are generally novel to the Navy. Thus, this training, along with first and second line maintenance, are critical for sustained and effective operations of the ship.
In commemoration of Children's Day celebration, the recognition of the role played by children in each family and the need to celebrate and make them feel loved and important, Nigerians recounted some of their childhood memories and the need to help out of school children. And that's on our Street Views. Take a listen.
My childhood was full of fun. I'm the last born of my mom, and I'm always with her everywhere. So, I would like my children to go abroad for holidays. So I didn't have that privilege.
And the fun was always there. We'll go to the back of the school where we'll have no disturbance, me and my friends. We'll just be there, and then we'll be throwing this rubber band. I guess you should be able to remember what that means. So it's always very fun.
We'll celebrate them, they'll give them gifts. I prefer to go to school.
Some are walking on the streets doing nothing. So we need assistance from the government. You can see my daughter, she's here today to help me, just to keep her company up today, not to roam about.
I didn't really grow up with my parents. I stayed with my stepmom. So though she was not too bad, but my own children, I will, of course, by God's enablement, they will stay with me, they will grow up with me, and I will train them. You know, there's a difference when you train your own personal child that you give birth to. It's always different.
I really enjoy my kids simply because my father trained us very well. Whenever the children is approaching, they will buy us white socks, white tennis. That's at that material time. So we go to stadium or we go to school, we go to match, we do this, we do that. So it was really fun and very, very awesome. All I want for my children is best for them, academically sound. And I want to treat them in the way of the Lord. And I want them to become great, especially in this universe we are.
The children's play, I miss that a whole lot. If I try to picture it, going back to it, I'm like, some of my siblings and younger ones that look up to me like, uncle, why are you playing like this? And didn't you know you are old? I'm like, because I miss that.
I don't feel like celebrating Children's Day. Instead of me celebrating, I'm helping my mom to sell food stuff. And I think government should help them to provide parents shelters and take them to the motherless baby home, take them to schools, feed them and do everything they need.
And to other parts of Africa, Ugandan government has given a 3-day ultimatum to striking allied workers to return to work or face a sack. Allied workers under the umbrella of Ugandan Nurses and Midwives Union laid down tools accusing the government of failure to implement the collective bargaining agreement made in 2017 to have their pay increased. The strike has seen many patients in government hospitals throughout the country stranded without anyone to attend to them. However, the Minister of Public Service, Wilson Mukasa, said the strike contravenes the Public Service Negotiation, Consultative and Dispute Settlement Machinery Act of 2008 that stipulates that any industrial action must follow 90-day notice after exhaustion of other avenues. And outside Africa, hundreds of people held a bicycle parade in the capital, Colombo, demanding that President Gotabaya Rajapaksa resign and Parliament pass laws to remove the executive presidency. Sri Lanka, an island nation of 22 million people, is reeling under its worst economic crisis since independence in 1948, with a severe shortage of foreign exchange, severely curtailing imports, including essentials such as fuel and medicines. The turmoil has come from the confluence of COVID-19 pandemic, ravaging the country's lucrative tourism industry and foreign workers' remittance tax cut by the government and the rising oil prices. Sri Lanka has also been officially declared in default by a ratings agency after the non-payment of calls on 2 of its sovereign bonds. It hired heavyweight financial and legal advisors as it prepares for the difficult task of renegotiating or renewing its $12 billion of overseas debt.
All of us feel that not having a very independent and a transparent constitution and governance is one of the main reasons for the pathetic situation that we are facing today with economic bankruptcy and political anarchy.
And in business news, Bitcoin led a drop in digital assets across board, with the world's most valuable token expected to lose for the 8th week in a row, its longest since such deep since August 2011. Bitcoin price has dropped by 4% in the last 7 days, even though this may appear to be a significant loss. The overall market took a bigger hit. Altcoins were hit far harder than the Bitcoin, resulting in Bitcoin's dominance skyrocketing buffeted by both macro headwinds from the U.S. Central Bank monetary tightening and crypto-specific fallout from the Terra USD algorithmic stablecoins implosion earlier this month, which continues to weigh on digital assets, particularly those related to decentralized finance. And in entertainment news, dancer Kafayat Shafu, popularly known as Kafi, has revealed that her former husband, John Ame, made her scared of calm people because of his action despite his reserved personality. In her words, she said, when you see him, you think he cannot even hurt a fly because he's always calm. End of quote. The dancer claimed her husband had been having illicit affairs with her friends. Kafi claimed that she started healing from the heart by becoming celibate in her marriage for 3 years before getting a divorce. And in sports news, hundreds of Real Madrid supporters ended their celebration for the 14th Champions League title early on Sunday, clashing with riot pleas. Footage showed people throwing glass bottles in Paseo de Relatos, leaving at least one person injured. Los Blancos secured a record-extending 14 Europe Cup when they beat Liverpool 1-0 in Paris. It also recorded that there were scores just before an hour where Real's first attempt on goal and their goalkeeper made several finds to deny Liverpool, who also failed to win the Premier League. And that's the news brief. For more stories, please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and do subscribe to our YouTube channel at Plus TV Africa and Plus TV Africa Lifestyle. Many thanks for watching. I am Messi Ebokpo.
There is no voting on social media. To vote, you would require permanent voter's card. To get your PVC, visit cvr.inecnigeria.org. Create your account with a valid email address and start the registration process. An activation link will be sent to you. Click on the link and activate your account. Fill out the form, pick and submit a convenient date and time for your biometrics. Print the application slip, which should have your QR code. On the appointed date, go to the nearest INEC office for your biometric capturing. Thereafter, you will get a registration slip to pick your permanent voter's card when ready. Get your PVC today. This message is from Plus TV Africa.
Urinary tract infection is simply infection of the urinary tract. So the body is divided into systems. And of course, you have, just like you have the digestive system, neurologic system, you have the urinary tract or urinary system, which is made up of the kidneys, the ureter, the bladder, and the urethra. Okay, these four parts form the urinary system. Any infection in any part of the system is what we simply call the urinary tract infection. Basically, every infective organism can cause urinary tract infection. The most common ones are your bacteria, your fungi, and viruses. You have virus infections that can cause urinary tract infection. You have fungi that can cause, especially in immunocompromised individuals. For example, people on high levels of suppressants, immunosuppressants, or high levels of chemotherapies, or patients who have come down with retroviral infections. Then, in very common cases, are bacterial infections that cause urinary tract infection, which are the common ones that we see. So you have things like Streptococcus, you have things like H. influenza, you have things like E. coli. In worst cases, you have Klebsiella, and of course, All of these bacteria can actually cause urinary tract infection. When they affect the different levels of the body, they have their different symptoms. So some of them get as far as the kidneys, cause things like pyelonephritis, and it further goes down to damaging symptoms. Okay, so it can be caused by bacteria, fungi, viruses are the commonest one. Protozoas can also cause it, and sometimes worms infections. 5 major steps actually preventing urinary tract infections. Number 1 is maintaining a good hygiene. Hygiene has been seen to be implicated in urinary tract infections, and if you are not very careful with, especially with the underwears, you can recurrently cause urinary tract infection. And then, of course, with the areas of sanitation, the restrooms are very implicative. And even in, partners, sexual partners, sometimes you may need to be very cautious. Okay, so basically hygiene. Oftentimes you see ladies not properly, use their underwears, or sometimes they don't even use it or properly wash. So it's usually recommended that they wash recurrently with maybe a hypo, a sanitizer, as it were, or a jig, a detergent, and sometimes even iron. Okay, the reason for iron is to give the heat if you don't want to discard completely. All right. Other prevention mechanisms includes proper dieting. Okay. When we eat right, we prevent a lot of things. Sometimes when we do a lot of sugar, you provide a habitable environment for these microbes to grow. All right. A lot of sugar. Yeah. Sometimes people even think that high protein diets are very effective, but no, you further even provide, because you see, improper dieting, you alter the pH of the body. This pH of the body is what is responsible for the maintaining a proper environment that organisms does not grow. When you distort it, certain organisms now begin to thrive in places where they're not supposed to thrive. A third thing is water, hydration, good level of hydration. Okay, keeps us consistently cleansed out. The fourth one is, it's been said that especially in women, they ought to clean from front to back. Rather, yes, from front to back, not from back to front. Okay, that's the proper way of cleaning. And then there's been some drinks that have been used in, especially berry drinks, cranberry drinks, have been very effective in the GI. So if you have drinks that have the cranberry or berry nectar, you have a good chance of preventing it. Some other ways of preventing: regular testing, you can prevent your urinary tract infections. Yeah. The symptoms of urinary tract infections includes a recurrent urge to want to use the restroom. You have that recurrent, and sometimes it could be very little amount of urine that could come out. You could have burning sensation in the process of urinating. You could have, itchiness. You could have cloudy urine. Sometimes discolored urine that could either be red or dark coke colored and all that. And then one other thing, pain, especially lower abdominal pain. One of the classical symptoms, lower abdominal pain. For men, you could see, of course, some burning sensations on trying to urinate. Usually not so much. And they could also have discharge, but that happens more with sexually transmitted infections. Now, the point about improper treatment, especially in females, is that it's responsible for high levels of infertility when it's not properly treated. The bad part of urinary tract infection is that it takes a quiet stage and right there in the body, and many people walk away, especially guys, especially men. They feel that they're good, and so it takes a quiet stage, and then over time, it's the cause of, or they become transmitters. Then the women eventually are the ones who come down with the symptoms, but they or never come down with the symptoms at all, and then life is good. The treatment plan for urinary tract infections can last for more than 2 weeks. It's important that you do not prescribe or you do not recommend yourself many of these roadside drugs that people do, especially when you hear things like staph aureus and stuff. No, none of that is just very unacceptable. In the treatment of urinary tract infections, you get tested first and you get drugs that are sensitive to these infections. Now, for some reasons, when adequate doses of these drugs are not taken, especially to completion, like I said to you, many times the treatment could last for as much as 2 weeks because of the level for where they are. The urinary tract infection is one of the lowest parts of the body, all right? So you have to do that long. If you don't do that, you begin to grow resistant strains of these microbes, and then you have to do it again and again. But the next time you're coming back to hit it, you don't get the same response like you got the first time. So it's important that whenever you're going to get treated, you treat for a very long time, and as much as 2 weeks, sometimes injections first, and then you complete the dosage with with a couple of tablets that are sensitive to the organism. Whenever there is recurrence of urinary tract infection, it's important that you pay attention to hygiene. Check hygiene levels very importantly, and that simply means that you may want to discard all underwears and replace them. Have proper baths. Just pay more attention. Number one, you never treat urinary tract infections without trying to treat your partner. It's important that you check out your partner, especially when it is one partner. Okay, if there's multiple partners, you just have to do something about that. All right. Okay, but then you want to also pay attention to your partner. The second and the third important thing is to check your fluid balance and all the other exogenous things you take. Now, when you're treating with the drugs, I recommend that you do injections first and then you do orals. Many times orals don't get as deep and as far as what injections will do. So even when you see sensitivity for certain drugs, you want to try the injections first. For me, I practice for 5 days minimum. And then subsequently, the books sometimes say up to 7 days. All right. And you do, subsequently you do the injections. When you do that, you get a better result because of the penetrating capacity of injections compared to tablets.
Hello there, and thanks for joining us for yet another edition of our program. It's been a very busy week, full of intrigues and maneuvers, especially in the political arena.
Expected, John. The stage is almost set with the actors putting on their best performances ever. The question on the lips of a lot of people, I inclusive, is whose interest really is the drama that we see around and the drama that we expect to unfold eventually. Now, will the audience give a standing ovation at the close of curtain, or will the theater be completely empty even before the drama ends, John?
I can see you're using your theater lingo there.
Play with me now.
Yes. Well, Helen, certainly you're in the spirit.
I am.
Okay, like they say. And the world indeed is a stage, and we are all actors. We either play lead roles, supporting roles, or we're in the audience just watching. Yeah?
And we're either leaders or we are followers. So today on the show, we are ready to engage in yet another interesting and impactful conversation. And it's centered on leadership and age. Welcome to Today with John and Helen, live, your wholesome family show on Plus TV Africa. I'm Mama Helen Odeleye. Name hasn't changed. And I'm always grateful to God for the gift of life and for your attention.
It changed slightly today.
It didn't change.
The Onwa came before the Helen.
They are all my
They are the
same.
Well, our conversation is on leadership and age, like you heard. And it's all encompassing from the family, corporate world, politics, and what have you. We have a guest who has seen it all, like they say, talking about leadership. The twist, however, is in what age has got to do with leadership. I am John Senaya, or could we say Senaya John?
Senaya John, John Senaya.
And it's great knowing you're there. Welcome on board.
All right, so John, the answer to that question and many others will come, I believe, after the break, because our guest is already seated and he's ready to go. This is Today with John and Helen once again, and we shall be back in a bit. Please, please, please don't go anywhere.
Yeah, thanks for staying there. Well, would I be correct to say that leadership knows neither age, race, nor gender? Well, leadership is simply the act of guiding a team, a country, people, or an individual to achieving set goals through purposeful direction and motivation. Would that be right, Helen?
Yeah. Well, the guest will tell us more. I see he's nodding his head. Young or old, some believe that leaders are born, while others say that they are made. But before all of that, John, anything impactful, anything remarkable, on your mind that we can share with our
on my mind,
friends out there this morning?
On my mind, I think during the week I read that a certain pastor, showed his heart of kindness to the family of the fallen hero. Yeah.
True. Some weeks ago, I mean, a lot of us were really thrown into mourning when we saw that young girl being beaten and burned alive in a secondary school environment in Kano. And we had so many questions, But someone just rose from in Nigeria and said, this girl should have been the light to this family. And now that light has been taken out. What can we do? And he offered the whole family circle. We are told that he's relocated all of them to Port Harcourt. He's giving them accommodation. He's giving the younger brother full scholarship abroad, And he's done so much for the father and the mother of the child.
Yeah.
That's a lot of relief.
We can only hope that we have many more Nigerians that will be able to do that.
Especially in a week where we're celebrating the younger ones. It was Children's Day yesterday.
It was Children's Day yesterday.
Yes. So the whole week, children were celebrated.
Yeah, it brought me a whole feeling of nostalgia. Remember in those days when we would, all file out and go to the race course here in Lagos, just for Children's Day. And it always was exciting for us.
I just keep, I hope that it's not just a celebration every 365 days.
Yeah.
That really the plight of the children are taken into consideration and their lives are made better policy-wise and implementation-wise, right from the family up to, the highest level.
And it has to be across the country. Because
across
now we're beginning to see some states doing better in some areas than others. So there has to be, some. Well, anyway, let's wish our children a belated happy Children's
It's still on.
Day.
I'm sure this weekend a lot of them are going out to have fun.
Course. Yes. So we say that age and leadership is the reason we're here today. And we're lucky to have with us Dr. Olukunle Iyonda, who comes with an impressive and rather intimidating profile in this field. Dr. Iyonda holds an MBA from Olabisi Onabanjo University, an MSc in corporate governance from Leeds Beckett University, and a PhD in information system management from Walden University, Minnesota in USA. And I refuse to be intimidated by all of this.
Our guest is a persuasive performance-driven and energetic leader with more than 20 years of comprehensive management positions and achievements across various industries. He's been in manufacturing, he's been in healthcare, he's been a management consultant and in higher educations. He is, at the moment, managing partner, Design Thinkers Group, West Africa, as well as founder, CEO, Broots Consulting.
Yes, Dr. Iyonda told us off camera when we asked him how come he got so many certificates, and he said it was out of nothing to do. Well, I wish I would have nothing to do to be able to get all of this. Dr. Iyonda, by the way, works also with organizations to help build capabilities, strategy development, innovation, change, leadership, and corporate culture. He is Senior Fellow, Nigeria Leadership Institute, Fellow, Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, Associate, Nigeria Institute of Taxation, member, American College of Healthcare Executives, member, Chartered Institute of Management UK, and so much more. Join us. Join us to welcome to the studio Dr. Olukunle Iyoda. You are finally,
yes,
you've landed. Finally.
Oh boy.
You're welcome, sir.
And we had to, keep a lot of them out to land.
You're welcome.
All right, it's a privilege, sir.
Thank you so much.
To be able to share this space with you on this show today.
Yeah, I've looked forward to it, and it's a privilege to be with you guys this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So age and leadership is the thrust of today's show. Can you give us an opening remark?
Well, very interesting. Maybe my opening remark, the way I want to put it, is to tell people, especially those who have been with a lot of agitations concerning, leadership and age, to say that age has nothing whatsoever to do with leadership. It's been proven over and over again. Okay, if you talk of wisdom, well, it has something to do with leadership.
Okay.
However, wisdom and leadership has nothing to do with age. So, and I believe that why are we even bothering ourselves with the issue of age when we're supposed to be looking at competence and success? Because over the years, or if you look at the history of human beings, you will discover that there are people that have led at a very young age. Why? Because they are able to show competence. They'll be able to see that there's a problem that needs to be solved for millions of people. So they are not waiting to be fed. I think that what led us to begin to think of maybe gender, maybe age, is an entitlement mentality. Wherein we just feel that we have to sit down and somebody has to give it to us because I'm a woman, somebody has to give it to me because I'm young, somebody has to give it to me because I'm an elder. All right. Not necessarily because of value we are able to create.
Okay, so Dr. Iyoda, you've answered all of our questions in your opening remarks.
No, yes.
But what we're going to do now is we're going to take them one after the other.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to break each aspect down. Because we have all day, in quotes. We have all day. And really, this is a subject that we really must address because it's right there at the tip of our tongues. It's on the forefront.
Right in our faces.
Yes. Now, let's start. There are two sides to this leadership question, young and old. Is anyone too young or too old to be a leader? Let's break that down.
All right. If I want to, if you look at it on the surface, the answer would be no one is too young, no one is too old. However, that's just on the surface. Yes, somebody can be too young to be a leader. If you're an infant cannot lead, for instance. All right? Because I believe that a leader is someone who knows left from right. Anybody who can know the left from right, who can distinguish between good and evil, is qualified to be a leader. However, if you become too old and you become senile, can you still be a leader? So you can get too old, become senile, so your mental capacity is not there anymore, so you cannot lead.
Okay.
Or you become too young, you're an
young.
infant that you cannot distinguish between good and evil, between right and wrong, okay, then you cannot lead. So long as your mental state is okay, you can lead, regardless of gender, regardless of age.
Okay.
So he walked into the next question.
Okay.
He walked right into it. So I'll leave it to
Yes.
us.
No, he walked right into it because he has said only when someone has become senile is unable to probably take that leadership initiative, and maybe when the strength is no longer there and all that. That's the only time that age, in terms of old, becomes an issue. So how did we get to where we are, where age has become such an important factor in our leadership? What has age really got to leadership quality? You have said really nothing. But how come we are at a point where we have agitations here and there, Sometime last year, the young people were all over the place, not too young to rule. And what's the point? What are the hindrances? Why this discussion on age and leadership?
You see, each time we talk about age and leisure and said, okay, somebody is too young or somebody is too old, we need to go back to history. Look at the founding fathers of Nigeria. At what age do they become whatever they have?
Leaders. Yeah.
You look at somebody like Gowon, who became at 29. All right?
Yeah.
What's his name? Muritala died at the age of 38. Jonathan was president of Nigeria in his 40s. Same goes for Babangida. Same goes for even the president, the current president. Maybe the problem is you have youth who came into leadership and they decide to sit for so long. All right? So you have people who possibly got into leadership position at the age of 20-something or 30-something and they have been there for the past 50 years.
They refuse to leave.
They refuse to leave.
But it's their constituency.
All right. So, and why do they refuse to leave? Because they were accepted by us. I believe that the kind of leaders we get is the kind of leader that we ask for. I always say that you can't have a good leader in any society where you have, you want a good leader, but you need great followers. Okay. Because if you don't have great followers, you cannot have good leaders. All right. So if I want to sit there and I say, okay, I want to be a member of House of Representatives and I want to be there forever and ever. If I'm not serving the will of the people and the people know what the will is and their desire is, what are they going to do? They will kick me out. So if they don't kick me out and I continue to be there because you have compromised followership, then there's going to be a problem. How do followers get compromised? We see what is wrong, we decide to keep quiet about it. So long as you can give somebody 1,000, 2,000 to vote, to sell their conscience, that's a compromised leadership, isn't it? Followership rather. So long as followers see that, okay, this person is just a PS or a director in the ministry, his salary is possibly 200,000, but he's doing something of 200 million, and we decide to keep quiet, then something is wrong.
Yeah.
Today, I'll be glad to see that my brother or my sister became the president of this country. All right, so all the attacks have been, throwing to those who are there now. What happened? I keep quiet because now I'm a strong beneficiary. And I begin to ask myself that maybe the reason why sometimes the noise becomes so much is because we are not part of those who are sharing that cake. Which is quite unfortunate. If we are all driven by value, then it doesn't matter who is there. But the question is that the value has been completely eroded. I remember when we were growing up, if they say your father is a thief, you won't be able to go to school the next day.
Yeah.
If they say somebody in your family, in fact, when you want to marry, they will first of all examine, I hope there is no prisoners in the family. But today, you know what happened? When a leader is sent to prison and is released, we are going to get us able to go and welcome them.
Wow.
So, and that's why I'm saying that maybe we should pipe a little bit low about leadership and begin to talk about followership, because the leaders did not drop from heaven, they are from us, right? But you may not have had leaders who have been there for so long, and if the society decides to tolerate them, then do you blame them for it?
Yeah. Okay, John, before you come in with your next question, his answers just, tipped something in me now. Leaders, what are the qualities that are expected of them that probably we do not see? Now you're saying that the followership is even more important. What's the quality of a followership that will assist a leader to achieve?
All right. Very interesting question. Let's talk about followership again. Okay, Nigeria is some madness that somebody will use taxpayers' money, right, to buy buses and all of that, and they put his name there as the governor. Or you use the government, use taxpayers' money to do the road, right? You name it after yourself.
Yes.
And all of us as followers, we go there and we say, oh yeah, we clap for.
He did this.
He did this. You know what? Because we don't even know our rights.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're supposed to say, we are not supposed to clap for anybody because you have done the road.
Job.
Because it's your job.
Because that's the reason you're there.
We are not supposed to clap for you because you build a new hospital or you build a railway station. We don't supposed to. Number one, it's not your money you used to do it. It's our money that you used to do it. The only reason why we put you there is for you to do those things. So why should we clap for you because you have done it?
Because others didn't do it.
So it becomes like an exception. So good performance become an exception in our society, in which once you see a governor that decided to do a road, guess what? All of us, oh, he did a road for us.
Yes.
And the governor sings all about it.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. However, great followership means that you will say, Mr. Governor, we elected you to do this. You have not done it. We want to know the reason why it has not been done. Are we together on that?
Yes.
Because until the followers begin to know that the leaders are not the one in charge, and that leaders are supposed to lead from behind.
Wow. Yes.
Until you bring empathy into leadership. Empathy means that as a leader, I must understand my personal challenge in the context of a global challenge of the people.
Yes.
So I must be able to subdue my personal challenge into that of the people. People's challenge. All right. I must know what they feel. How many of our leaders can we really say that know what we are feeling?
Or care about what we're feeling?
Or care about what we are, or even understand it. It's an issue that we need to really discuss.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes.
Doctor, yeah. You see, when I was preparing myself for this program, or at least I tried to do that mentally, I promised myself that we will not make it look like we're talking about politics.
Yes.
Leadership is that.
But the topic is such that the first place your mind goes, given all that is happening, is politics.
But politics is everything.
I mean,
the corporate world is politics.
It's all about governance.
The family
governance.
is
and I want to tell you because when you talk about leadership, why you cannot take away political leadership, because political leadership is the umbrella.
Yes.
So whether I talk about corporate leadership, whether I talk about community leadership,
yes,
everything is still within that umbrella.
The rules are the same.
The rules are the same.
The rules are the same.
So, and what people see, the question, I'm a community leader in my place and I'm doing the little bit that I can do. But what I'm able to achieve may be dependent on what I'm permitted largely, to achieve. However, having said that, I'm also the opinion that when we look at leadership, can we begin to address it from various levels?
Yeah.
In my office as a corporate
Yes.
CEO,
Yes.
okay, what kind of leadership are we talking about?
In
Now,
my
when I talk
community.
about empathy, okay, I'm not talking about sympathy. I'm talking about leaders that understand the feelings of the people that they lead.
Yeah.
And you must understand that, for me, the definition of leadership is more of working with the people to ensure their success. So I'm there as the CEO to build the people. That's why I'm there.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was talking to my human resource manager, and I was saying, we need to call this staff. I said, where we have given the person query, we have done this, I said, no, let's call them. Maybe there's psychological issue that this person is dealing with. And I said, let me tell you, workplace is to build people. I know that we want them to work so that the bottom line can be okay.
Yeah.
But it's first time, as a leader, we must recognize that we are there to build people. We are there to remove barriers that will not make them to succeed.
And you're dealing with human beings, not machines.
We talk about American dream. What is the meaning of American dream? American dream is create an environment where everybody that is in the US can thrive and prosper.
And be happy.
Yeah. Takes away all obstacles.
Yes.
And what we are looking at, let's look at it, let's say politically, as a citizen, whatever will not make me to succeed is taken away. It could be system, it could be policy. Yeah. In my place of work, the same thing. Even in my family. Yeah. I'm a father. You are a mother. We are supposed to give leadership. Yeah. All right? And that leadership means that what do I need to do to ensure that my children succeed? That is the first thing, okay? So if you are unable to take all those impediments that will enable them to succeed, then you are failed as a leader. And that is what it is also when we talk about either political or corporate or community leadership.
Now, let's take it down to brass tacks again. Let's go. I'm trying to not make it sound like we're attacking our politicians, So let's do a throwback to when I was in school. In those days, age was never a factor. In deciding who led the class, for instance. It was really a matter of intelligence, maybe ability, So what has changed? What do you think has changed?
What I think has changed is our value system has been completely eroded. In this country, you see a parent who will pay someone to write JAMB for their children.
Yeah.
So what are they telling them? In this country, you will see someone who wants his or her to get a position in the school and will go and pay for it. We have even seen situations whereby somebody will go to the principal of the school and say, I want my son to be this. And because at the PTA he has the biggest voice, the loudest voice, and is able to do one or two things, we get compromised. So, and when you have stuff like that, what kind of leaders are you going to have? I used to tell, some of my younger friends, I said, you will shout that you don't want your child to be on phone.
Yeah.
Right. No, it's spending so much time on phone.
And you are there.
But you are there. And the only thing they are seeing is what you are doing.
Yes. You are the example.
You are okay. So how did we get it wrong? We got it wrong because at every levels we are more of talkers than doers.
Okay.
So the only thing we are doing is just to talk and expect people to do differently. And most times we think that those laws that we made are not for us. We can do as we like, we are matured, and all of that is for other people. No. And that's why I'm saying that a leader must live from behind. What makes you to be a leader is you are wise. What is wisdom? You are knowledgeable. You are able to apply that knowledge to bring about social change, positive social change. That makes you to be a good leader.
Experience.
For us to say that you have wisdom, you have the mental capability. Okay? You are able to see things from diverse perspective. That is wisdom.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So it's possible for you to have people who are very, very smart, who have gone to the best schools in this world, got the best education, yet they are not wise.
They are not wise.
And we have to ask ourselves, do we have knowledgeable leaders or do we have wise leaders?
So which one is? We'd rather go for.
You cannot become. You can't become wise without being knowledgeable,
and vice versa. Okay.
And when you are wise, being wise means I'm able to see John and I say, John shouldn't be in this situation. John shouldn't be in this condition. Okay, that is wisdom.
But would a young potential leader
see that?
Be wise?
Yes, absolutely. It has nothing. Wisdom has nothing to do with age. It has to do with exposures. It has to do with your life experiences.
Yes.
And we have seen somebody who is 70 years old and behaving like
that is not wise.
All right. I mean, you remember that funny stuff that came out, funny story of that young boy that the mother wanted to build and say, Mommy, be calming down. Isn't that wisdom? To say, yes, I know that things are, but Mommy, I know I'm not nowhere, but just calm down.
And we'll get results when you're calmed.
That is what wisdom is all about. And if at that point in time, the mom decided to calm down. Don't you think that boy has successfully led the mother?
Through wisdom.
Through wisdom.
No, but what about age and competence?
Okay.
Age and competence.
Because you've not only talked about competence, you've talked about performance, you've talked about wisdom, you've talked about results, and all of that. So, is it about the young or the old for all of this to fall in place?
All right. So let's look at the major corporations we have in the world today.
Yeah.
Either Facebook, either Google, either Uber, either all these things.
Their age brackets.
What is their age bracket? Other Paystack that we have in Nigeria, Flutterwave, that we have in Nigeria, Andela that you have. Those guys, how do they start? They were all in their 20s. Some of them are even younger than 20s. And they're able to build multi-billion-dollar corporation that is multiple times bigger than Nigerian budget.
That's right.
And they were leading those organizations.
That's right.
In their thousands. So when you see sometimes one want to kill ourselves over, and you see that Google has over $200 billion in its current account. Nigeria total foreign reserve is still hovering between $30-something billion. Do you get what we're trying to say? So in terms of impact, so leadership must be looking at in terms of competence and impact.
Yeah.
I mean, and the success. So competence is friend that, okay, he's knowledgeable, he has what it takes to do it, right? Okay, but he's also successful in doing that thing that he set out to do. So if you are not successful in doing it, then you have not really led. And it's when you have done something maybe over and over again that people will say, oh, wow, I want to be like this guy. Okay, they want to buy into that thing that you have done. We have to know that it's all about solving problems. And if you are able to solve the pain point of people, then you see that people will follow you. Look at this Pakistani, lady that was shot. How old was he when he was shot? And look at the one Nobel Prize award. Look at the numbers of followers that simply by saying, I want to stand for what is right.
Okay.
And that's leadership.
Wow. We are about to take a break. But before then, let me quickly throw this in. The perspectives and beliefs may possibly be the main drivers for the agitation for young leadership in the future or in the now. Wouldn't this be a selfish move?
Well, there's a study that actually confirmed that perspective has a lot to do with either old or young, all right? As a matter of fact, politically or in terms of how we govern ourselves in the community, there is that general perspective to believe that the older you are, the better you are able to manage. Even the younger generation. Because look at populations of Nigeria. Do you know that between the age of 19 to 34, we have about 40-something%.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, those who are older than 65 in Nigeria, guess their percentage, they are just 2.7% of Nigerian population. Just 2.7%. So when we talk about, okay, we have somebody who is 90-year-old in office and all of that. But if you feel that that person is not doing well, we have what it takes to have the person to leave.
Dr. Yoda.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to just pause there.
Okay.
I mean, clearly, age and leadership has been our focus today. That's very obvious. And our guest has helped us to drive home the point.
Yeah.
Young or old, leadership is about inspiring others and achieving what they never thought they could do. We'll take a quick breather here. Doctor, you will still be here with us. So we'll ask our viewers, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
All right, this is Today with John and Helen, and we are still talking age and leadership. I wish we would shake this table a lot more, okay? So how does decisiveness, integrity, relationship building, problem solving, dependability, ability to teach and mentor, accountability, empathy, vision, resilience, humility, and a lot more, how do this play out in the leadership or in leadership? Now, where are we likely to get all of this? Is it in the younger ones or in the older ones? You have gone round and round and talked about it, but these things are just rolling in my head. And I am holding the aspect that you said that the followership are the most important. Okay, John?
I wish I made a list of all what you asked for. But I tried to box everything into leadership quality.
Yeah.
Because all of what you said, really, I don't know, Doctor, do you agree with me? Yeah, one thing I am sure about is that there's something missing. The word together. Together seems to be a word that's been missing in this conversation. And yet, it may well be the solution to our problem. How do we do this? This leadership thing. How do we do it together?
Collaboration between
young and old, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, for that. I may have a different perspective because for me, it's still like us seeing leadership like a national cake that needs to be shared. So as a result, we are saying together, let's get the younger ones, let's get the older ones. But my own stand is, if the older ones are the ones who are performing, so be it. If the younger ones are the ones who can do it, kick them out and be in charge.
Then we
Okay,
can have a
because
mix.
what we are, but they're already mixed, aren't they?
Okay.
You don't go to any state and all of them are
They're
whole.
all old, yeah.
You don't go to any local government and everyone is whole. You don't.
Yes.
Even in government, some of the government agencies, you see people, executive director at their 30s, even less than 30s. So it's already mixed. We are already together. But it's a question of perceptions. And I'm saying that if somebody have anything good to offer, you know, I read, one of the leaders I follow a lot, I read virtually all his book, is Barack Obama. And I tried to see how Obama became the president of the United States of America.
Yeah.
It's not by being docile. It's not by being sitting there and say, you know what, I'm a minority, I'm a black guy. They're supposed to get the black guy as a president. I'm qualified to be that president.
It's not by just
so
mouthing it.
I'm waiting for somebody to come and call me.
Not by just mouthing it.
But he had it exactly. So he had a dream. I can be the president. Who say I cannot be?
Yeah.
And he laid out his strategy. He engaged with the people. He worked day and night.
And he married the right woman.
I married the right woman. They didn't give him the established, you know, political system didn't give him the opportunity. But guess what? And that's why I talk about followership.
Yes.
Guess what? Like tsunami, he came and there was a big disruptions. You know why that happened? Because you have informed followers.
Yes.
It wouldn't have happened if you don't have that. Okay, something very nice just happened in Adamawa, right? That you elected APC Guba, you know, was a woman now who was able to fight against some established, you know. That's what we are talking about. And we are going to see more and more of that.
We hope.
What is important is we need to educate each other.
Yes.
We need to define the kind of leadership that we want.
Yeah.
And where we don't even know that, guess what? Somebody can stand up here in this little room and say, you know, I want to be the governor of Lagos State. And these are my strategy. But you see, if you start with fear, one of the things I've always saying is for people to think, oh, you know what, the established political system will not allow you.
Yes.
And the question I ask is that who allowed them when they got there?
Okay.
You want to be a CEO of an organization and you say, okay, they're not going to allow me. Who allowed those who got there? It's when you are able to show that you have what it takes. And I believe that politically, people are getting more informed in Nigeria now. People are getting more informed. We've seen that happen, you know. We don't want to go into politics, but we have seen it happen. We have seen disruptions, you know, in Nigerian political system, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
We've seen it. But it will get to a point that, I mean, look at in the US, you can probably predict who is going to win what. Based on what? Critical factors of
Pedigree.
healthcare, critical factor of employment,
The areas of
critical factors of inflation, those things that affect people directly. And once those things that affect them directly is taken out from them, you can be sure that that party is going to lose. But you know, in Nigeria, it's what Fela calls suffering and smiling, you know. Things are not going right. However, what is the place of religion in what we are doing? What is the place of ethnicity? What is the place of gender? Right? In which I'm going to say, okay, well, even though I know that Ellen is the most qualified, but Ellen is not from Lagos State, so we rather vote for John, even though we know John is not the one.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay. So, you have to look at the issue of ethnicity. And we have to begin to drill it into our heads to say, let's leave ethnicity behind. Let's leave gender behind. Let's leave age behind. Age is just one of it. I can tell you that today, okay, we are shouting Muslim, Christian, okay, young people. So tomorrow, Helen again is the most qualified. She's female, right? But she's a Christian. And she's from the north. Okay? So, even though by definition of north, you are in the majority. But guess what happened? All of a sudden you become the minority.
Because you're female.
Because you are female. So at that point in time, those in the north are not going to be looking at it and say it's from the north. No, it's female, no. So let's go for John. John is from Lagos. But he's male. So, and that is why we always talk about the issue of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
DEI.
Inclusion.
Yeah, that's the way of the world now.
And if we are able to bring that into our polity,
Yeah.
I think we'll see a lot of change. People have talked about strong institutions, and I always ask myself, we talk about strong institution. What is strong institution? Strong institution is not going to fall from heaven. Is it not people that are going to be there?
Yeah.
So what's strong? So the first thing we need to deal with before we can even begin to talk of quality leadership and all of
You
that,
have to put the structures in place.
put the structure there.
Yes.
We need to wash our brain. We need to get the right value. We need to be able to call a spade a spade. We need to know that what is important is whoever can make me to be more successful is the kind of leader I want. But do we even know what success is as followers?
Oh.
Wow.
That's the issue. Do we know what success is?
Helen, if you don't stop doctor, if you don't stop doctor, you won't ask the next question.
Yeah, but we got the doctor here. We brought him here because we know that he's capable, of answering our questions. While I was getting ready for this yesterday, doctor, I ran into something that showed some advantages and disadvantages in having a leader who is young and who is old. In terms of the older one will sit there and probably not embrace change. I've been doing this for 101 years. Why do I have to change my strategy, for example? And the younger ones come with bright and new ideas because they are more aware of what's going on in the world. And I'd like you to speak on this.
One of the interesting studies done by University of Queensland in 2011, again, says that age does not make you wiser. So the fact that I've been doing it, and that's your point.
Does it make you more daring, more bold to be able to take?
Your experience, you can't buy experience.
Yeah, I'm coming. But when you talk about the experience also does not come by age. It comes by exposures. You will see younger people who possibly have gone through a whole lot that myself and you have not been through.
That's right.
Who have gone through, they have gone through a lot of issues of lives. They have gone to the university of life that has taught them a lot of lessons.
That's right. Yeah.
But maybe I'm from the privileged home. Everything always worked for me and all of that. So what experience have I got? And that's why sometimes when people talk about experience, I say, is it experience of 50 years doing the same thing over and over again? Will you compare that experience with somebody of 10 years who have done several things within that space of 10 years? Okay, so I don't believe that the fact that you are elderly and does not mean you are mature.
Okay.
Age and maturity are not the same thing. Even though they're supposed to be a relationship. In Yoruba, there is what they call agbaya. And what's the meaning of agbaya? To say that
you're old, but
you are old, but you are not
useless.
wise. You are useless. You get what I'm trying to say? So you can be old actually, but you are not wise.
Okay.
So they will call you, he's agbaya now, because you can't even think.
Doctor, you know what our worry is?
Yes.
I'm talking as a representative of the youth now.
Yes.
What our worry is that we have structures. Let's imagine we have structures already. Are the youth trusted enough to keep these structures in the right place? Because they want to upturn the whole apple cart. They want to change everything. But there are structures that have to be kept. Will the youth, or are they trusted enough to keep these structures on?
I don't have any problem with that because I think they will even improve more on it.
Okay.
Because when you look at what some of these young people are doing, it's amazing in their little space.
No, they are changing everything now. They'll confuse us.
They are not changing everything, because don't forget that the world is changing.
Okay.
And some of us who are old, we are not changing with the tide. We are not swimming, with the tide.
Some of us are still
so we are still analog. So some of us just think that this is how we have been doing it, so let's stay there. But they are saying, no, this is what is happening, this is what is changing, so you have to change it with it.
Yeah.
One of the critical skills that is expected of a future leader or current leader is adaptability.
Okay.
How flexible are you? So if you say you are a leader, we want to look at it. Do you believe in collaborations? Do you believe in diverse perspective? Are you very flexible? You know, Albert Einstein said that we cannot solve the current problem with the same mentality that we used to create them.
Wow. Okay.
So, what that tells us is that, okay, yeah, this is a problem. We need a fresh perspective into our problems. And the Nigerian youth have that. Have you seen young Nigerians abroad? Have you seen how they are thriving?
Yeah, you're right.
Have you seen some of them even in parliament, House of Parliament in some countries?
Absolutely, yes.
So if they can achieve that, they can achieve it there. And you know what? The current legislation has given that opportunity to every youth to participate.
But they're leaving us out.
How?
How are they leaving you out?
Because they've already said that for you to be
fast enough.
They've already said
they've
already said that you can be a president at the age of 30. So what else do you want? They never said that, okay, for you to be a president in Nigeria, you must have a PhD and you must be 55 years old. So what is stopping you?
Maybe it's a
Those
lack
are
of
the basic.
understanding.
Yeah, I think.
You see, there is mutual suspicion, which we've talked about.
That is it. That is it.
Okay? In which the youth feel that, you know what, there's no point for us to contest against the established leadership because they will not even allow us.
Yeah.
You know the reason why they are saying that? When we say that, we are saying that we don't have something better to offer than what they are offering.
Okay.
That's what that means. If you say, oh no, they won't allow us. Because it's all about value creation. But if I, as a youth, says, you know what, I don't care whether it is XYZ who has been there for the past 50 years. I don't care. I have a better idea. And I go from one corner to the other and I'm, you know, selling my ideas.
Yeah.
And people say, oh, wow, that makes sense. I think this one is better than what we have.
Yes.
I will get there. So I think what I need to say is that our listeners should know that age has nothing to do with leadership. Age has nothing to do with wisdom. What you need is courage. And if you have that courage, you will continue. And let me tell you, I always say that for those of us who feel that we are better than the rest, and that's why we are not in politics, okay? Some people say, no, politics is dead. So if you say politics is dead, you don't want to be in it. What you are saying is that those people you are condemning will be the one that will continue to rule it.
Yeah.
So if you have good value, system, you feel that you can solve the problems of this country, it could even be sewage. Okay, you know what? I'm going to Lagos State House of Assembly, I'm going to contest. And my interest is just how we can deal with the sewage situation in Lagos. And this is my formula.
You know what? You know what you just did, Doctor? Yeah. You just answered what would have been my last question.
Oh, really?
I was going to ask you. Okay, so who or what is going to harmonize this collaboration? Get this kind of collaboration in place for the old and the young to work together.
Because after this conversation, I have seen that leadership is not only about who is at the top. There's leadership at different levels. And you need to be equipped. But I'm asking in this environment, maybe are there places where you can learn to be a leader or are leaders born or made? But John's question,
but that
we use that to wrap.
Please, in 15 seconds.
Yes.
Because we have to wrap up now.
So you've confused me now. Because you have taken
John's question.
What's John's question now?
Okay.
John's question is who or what? Yeah, who or what will be able to harmonize all of this? I mean, it's like, where do we look? Where do we look for proper guidance?
For you to be harmonized, again, I say that there has to be a proper awakening of the people. There are no two ways to it. There must be a proper awakening of the people to say, what kind of society do we want? We are talking about age. Okay, we have been clamoring now for women representations and all of that, either in politics or in the boardroom. Okay, let's talk about politics. Don't forget that a little bit, maybe about 51% of our populations are women. So how come women have not been elected?
Now,
who is stopping them?
In 5 seconds.
So in 5 seconds, for us to harmonize this, again, let there be that consciousness to say, this is the kind of people, this is the kind of leader that we want. This is the problem we want to solve. This is who can help us to solve that problem. And it doesn't matter
so
the age.
The total, in totality,
it's all about people.
It's about the people.
It's the people. It's the people. It's the people that will exactly.
So Helen, consciously, let's wrap up this program.
Okay, consciously. I guess our job is done. As far as this topic is concerned, we generously would like to say thank you, sir,
Thank you so
for
much.
your time. I have thoroughly enjoyed today. And I have a lot more questions to ask, but we will save that for another day.
Another time,
yes. Yes.
Well, I'll just end by asking Dr. Iyoda, please, can I be your friend?
Oh, yeah, you are my friend already. I like you guys.
So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much.
All right, so this is how far we can go on this segment, but you know, there's more on the show. It's Today with John and Helen, and we'll just take a quick break at this end and allow the next segment to roll in.
Yeah.
What would that be, John?
The next segment. Should I keep it a secret?
Are we going to keep fitting?
We'll go fit.
Okay.
We'll do the fitness.
So let's do that.
Okay.
Hello everyone and welcome to another fitness section with us at Alpha Fitness Studios. My name is Dolly Phillips and this is Elvis Echo, and we're going to be taking you through a HIIT workout today. So today we're going to work for 20 seconds and rest for 10 seconds. I have my timer here with us. So before we start, let's start with a quick warm-up. Everybody hands up, deep breath in. Shoulder rolls back, hands on the shoulders, rotate. 1. Opposite direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's reach over. 1. 3, 2, and 1. Now let's roll downwards. Release those hamstrings. 2. Very good. Nice and slow. 3. Good job. 4 and 5. Knees up. Let's go touch those knees. Wake those abs up. 1 and 2 and very good. 3 and 4 and 5. Hip circles. We're rotating. 5 to the left. Let's go. 5. Reverse direction. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out, shake it out. Are you ready for this workout, Elvis? We're ready. Okay, so I have my timer here. We're going to start the timer. The very first workout is your flutter kicks. So once you hear the whistle, we start. Once you hear the next whistle, you stop to rest. Are you ready? Let's go. If you can't kick this out like this, just kick out like this for me. Yes? We have levels. Come on, let's go. 2 and 1 and rest it. Okay, the next workout, high knees. So we're going to jog on the spot with our knees coming up high. Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1, let's go. If you can't, this is enough for me. Just make sure you continue moving. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest it. That was good, huh? Next one, squat, leg over. Take those legs as high as possible. Are you ready? Let's go. And 1. Wow! Do you feel that one? Now we're going down to the floor. Hands down. Send your legs back. Let's go, Elvis. Mountain climbers. Let's go. Push it. If you can't do this, you can just stay in plank or stay in all fours and pick up your knees. And rest it. We're still on the floor. We're going to do a plank on the elbows. Okay, Elvis and I are going to turn to the side so you can see what we're doing. Elbows down and out. Don't collapse your back. No. Lift it up. Tuck in your pelvis and breathe. We have 10 seconds left. Woo! You can feel this one, huh? Make sure your elbows are directly under your shoulders and keep your face looking forward. Don't look down, look forward. Helps to straighten out your back. How are we doing? We have 3 seconds left. 2 and 1. Good job. Stretch it out. And now we're going to go into a sprint. Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Sprint. Come on, go, 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 go. Faster. 2, 1, and relax. Impossible. Anyway, so let's stretch it out now. We've come to the end of this one. And out. Good job. In and out. In and out. One more. And out. Shoulder rolls back. Shoulder rolls. Good. 3 more. 2 and 1. Rotate forward. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's stretch those quads. Hold on to something if you need to. If you don't need to, find your balance. Stretch those quads. Quads are these muscles here in the front of your thighs. Very good. You need to work these muscles. As we get older, they're the first set of muscles to give way. So always make sure you work your muscle, your quads. All right? Good job. And down. Let's stretch our back. Slide down those thighs all the way down. Fingertips on the floor. Straight legs. Stretch out your lower lumbar region. Very good. Oh, this feels so good. It stretches the back of the legs as well, the hamstrings. Bend your knees and slowly roll up. Ah, yes. Deep breath in. Open those legs all the way down and up. All the way down one more time. And out. One more. And out. Awesome. Elbow, elbow, elbow. Thanks for joining us today. We hope to see you very soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Welcome back. And this is the closing segment of the show. Today with John and Helen.
Yeah, so John, the business of public speaking, as they say, does age play any role in it? Are the younger ones better at it or the older ones?
Well, I would say that it doesn't really matter. It's what you have brought to the table that matters. The way you handle it, the way, your knowledge base, your presentation style and all of that. So it doesn't really matter because you have courses for courses. You have different speakers for different audiences, So no, age would not be a factor.
At all?
Yes.
All right.
So you want my nugget for today?
Go ahead.
And my nugget for today is quite an interesting one. It's a general nugget, that deals with how you present yourself, how you are, how you sound,
Okay.
And it is this. It is not enough to be good. You also need to sound good, or it's no good. It's not enough to be good. You also need to sound good, or it's no good. So we go up there, we believe that our looks or our knowledge base, wisdom, and all of that, communicates the message to the audience. That's not enough. You need to sound good. You need to be able to deliver in a clear, concise, and understandable manner for your message to be communicated to your audience. So let's take delivery for granted. Delivery is a very important aspect in public speaking. And like I always say, public speaking is not only when you go up on stage. Even in the boardroom, you're speaking to your public. Even at home, within the family, you're communicating with your family. So public speaking goes with you everywhere. So make sure that you don't just look good, you sound good as well. Otherwise, it's no good.
Okay. All right, so for you to look good and sound good and be the part, it means that you have to prepare.
Oh, you have to prepare,
you have
of
to
course.
get educated.
Of course, you have to prepare. You don't ride
you
a
have
bicycle.
To get information.
Yeah, you don't get to know how to ride a bicycle without, practicing.
True.
And then get your content in place.
Especially because we're dealing with the language that is not ours originally.
It doesn't
Most
even
of the
really
time.
matter. In whatever language, the content is there, right? The important thing now is for clarity and for being concise. Speak clearly and concisely. And it doesn't matter to me if you sound like the Queen of England. I'd rather you even sound like a Hausa man, Yoruba or Igbo man. As long as when you communicate, you are understood and you are heard.
You carry your audience along.
You carry your audience along. So
Okido.
that will be it for this week.
Yes.
And I must say that it's been a thoroughly fulfilling session on today's program.
You can say that again. Yes. And I hope that you have found this show as interesting and as fulfilling as we have. It's our pleasure, it's our job, it's our duty that we do this, especially for the family and the society. And one thing I've taken away today is that us who are the public, the followers, the power is in our hands.
That's right.
And so at this point in time, the power is in our hands, all right, to make our nation a better place. And so I'm asking, have you gotten your PVC? Is it ready for you to take that decision and use that franchise? Do you have yours ready?
I think so.
You think so, John? I will
actually
kill you.
do.
I have mine.
I do.
All right, so let's meet again same time next week on the show today with John and Helen on Plus TV Africa. But don't forget that if you missed out on this outing today, we have an opportunity for you to watch again later tonight. 10:30 is the time and 9:30 tomorrow morning. Thank you and have a lovely weekend.
Goodbye.
Hello and welcome to Tea Time Roundup on Plus TV Africa, where the big stories live. Here I break down for you the fun-packed entertainment that made it to Tea Time this week. So please, stay tuned and stick with your girl Elile. You don't want to miss this, trust me. First up, Papaya ex-security guard vanished after reportedly stealing from Harbour. However, he was found. Ireti Doyle reacted to Nii Akinmolayan over his tweet on tackling influencer actors. Kunle Remi is of the opinion that entertainers need therapy. Enjoy.